It's now time to take a look at news stories making headlines around the globe. We begin here at home, where Nigeria's opposition politicians converged on Abuja this Wednesday to unveil the African Democratic Congress, the ADC, as the chosen platform to contest the 2027 general elections. While giving their statement of intent, ADC interim chairman and former Senate President David Mark declared that the coalition is for every Nigerian faced with an uncertain future to join hands to rescue the nation's ailing democracy under the watch of the governing APC. Our Rice correspondent Benga Ashiru has more.
With many in the opposition forces across party lines being left in utter disenchantment under strong, irreconcilable circumstances, they've now found a way to reinvent themselves under the umbrella of the African Democratic Congress, infusing a new energy in the race to Nigeria's political leadership come 2027. A convergence of political heavyweights across party lines and reunion of old war horses sun back from the political wilderness. Here comes a historic grand alliance purportedly formed to rescue Nigeria from what they called state capture. As the outgoing national chairman rises to make his farewell speech, he wasted no time in criticizing some of the bad policies of government, one of which is the palliative agenda, instead of the APC government finding a sustainable solution to the nation's problems.
We are setting in motion a new way of leadership that is boldly visionary, deeply committed to improving the lives of our people and restoring our country. We don't have any doubt.
The outgoing national chairman's speech was followed by a symbolic handover of the leadership mantle of the ADC to the new interim national chairman and former Senate President, David Mark.
This coalition is therefore for all Nigerians who share in our belief that all of us, the young and the old, man and woman, rich and poor, living with disabilities or not, town dwellers or villagers, we all have the patriotic duty to save our country. Accordingly, all youths who face uncertain future and have questioned the value of their education and their certificates, this coalition is for you.
The message from the new interim national chairman is clear: to unite and rescue Nigeria's troubled democracy from the grips of the APC government come 2027.
ADC! Nigeria!
With the new ADC's strong declaration to join forces against the ruling APC, will they be able to seal a united front, or will this end up as another jamboree of strange bedfellows? Political scholars say it's still early days. Benga Ashiru, Arise News.
Well, meanwhile, less than 48 hours after the reinstatement of Senator Samuel Anyanwu as National Secretary and the declaration of a coalition by the party's 2023 presidential candidate Atiku Abubakar, the acting national chairman of the People's Democratic Party, that's Ambassador Umar Damagum, has appealed to the Atiku-led faction to return to the party. Ambassador Damagum gave the assurance that the PDP's National Working Committee has resolved its internal differences and is now united ahead of the 2027 general elections. His appeal follows reports that the Atiku-led group may adopt the African Democratic Congress as their new political platform. Speaking after a National Working Committee meeting, which had Senator Samuel Anyanwu presiding as secretary, Damagum said the party is now more united than ever and warned detractors against attempts to demarket the PDP.
To our members, I want to bring good tidings that your party is very, very intact. To APC, I want to send a message. And you continue to harass for us, unveil our members. But the 2027 election is between Nigerians and you.
Well, those are the latest developments in the political landscape as we count down the days, unfortunately, or rather the years still to 2027.
When I see Damagung begging people to come back to the PDP, Sokoti-Law, the PDP has gone. So let's forget that. What it means is that people will not come back. When we were telling the PDP that you would dig your own grave, they thought we were joking. It has finally done that. It's killed in the act of self-destruct, and it has destroyed its own potential. When the PDP had to deal with people like Wike, they didn't deal with people like Wike. They left him. He made his point. The party was in disarray, and it went on for a while. And nobody could call anybody to order in the PDP. Now they say they are trying to fix things. It's already too late. So they have moved on. And the shocking thing is those that still sat with them in their party on Monday are the ones in the ADC on Wednesday. That's why you see 24 hours is a long time in politics. So Damagung, please, enjoy the PDP by yourself. Enjoy it. Coalesce. Those that are still remaining there, the governors, enjoy it. But you can't be too sure that some of the governors that are probably coming to sit with you, there might be one leg in the ADC or another leg in the APC, whatever it is, because politicians, we don't know where they completely lie. So you are not even sure that those that are sitting with you, as you're having that press conference, to call people to come back to the PDP, they might be in the ADC. That's one. Number two, the case of the ADC. You see, I don't take politicians seriously because they always have a fight about interest. Look at the way Dino Melaye was introducing Peter Obi. The same Peter Obi, during Arise debate, Dino Melaye was taunting. You see them? So Dino Melaye now knows Peter Obi has this charisma. The same El Rufai that last year said Peter Obi locked him up. And Peter Obi replied, no, I couldn't have done that. You need to see the way they held their hands hand in hand, kumbaya, and they came in on stage. It's all about interests. These politicians don't die in their war. So if you had killed yourself when El Rufai was with Tinubu, it will be on you. The joke will be on. Look at Rauf Aregbesola. In fact, Rauf Aregbesola is so close to President Tinubu that it is said that he's the only one that enters Tinubu's bedroom. I don't know how truthful it is. I don't have empirical fact. I don't speak. But they say it's hearsay. And the hearsay, I just used to establish the fact that they were really close. But look at him today. It's against President Tinubu. But what am I going to say? There are 5 scenarios. Number 1, internal squabbles. It has started. You've heard Dumebi Kachukwu. He said he holds a place in the party. A lot of people have been abusing Dumebi since yesterday. They will contest about, what is it called? The right of Dumebi as against Nwosu, because Dumebi claims that the court case in February 2023 has said that the tenure of Nwosu should end. Secondly, government interference. They are going to face that a lot. Before you know it, there's going to be moles. People are going to be sent into that party to try to disrupt it. In fact, you might not be surprised that some of the people that are there today, that are in the APC, the question is, there might be moles there. You never know. You can't tell. The third point I would like to make is the funding part. Although I've asked a lot of people that how are they going to get their funding, they say, don't worry, money will always come. It is a sad reality that we practice owocracy in Nigeria, not democracy, as far as I'm concerned. Government of the money, by the money, and for the money. So who spends higher gets the position. That's why we have a country where Nigerian presidency is fast becoming one of the best presidency money can buy. It's how much you can spend it. But to the electorate, please, you have seen these politicians, all of them, those that want to save Nigeria and those that they feel they are saving Nigeria now. They've all been people that have enjoyed from the largesse of this country all these years. The question is, Who is in your best interest? And that's the question you should answer at the polls and vote for. Sharpen your PVC and get ready and scrutinize all of these people. I yield the floor.
Okay. When this politics of coalition started, triggered, as it were, by former governor of Kaduna State, Nasir Rufai, in March, I had written a piece in which I expressed skepticism, and then subsequently I followed up on the back page of This Day with another article. At that time, I expressed the optimism that, well, the Tinubu camp is not going to fold its arms and allow the opposition to coalesce, to come together. The objective of the coalition that was announced by Nasir Rufai being to remove the APC and to remove President Bola Ahmed Tinubu from power in 2027. And he had a lot to say that as a founding father of the party, he had been disappointed and that he was embarrassed by the incompetence of the Tinubu administration. His words. And we have tried to contextualize that. However, our skepticism and the skepticism, the dismissiveness of the spokespersons of the president and, the president himself, who, as the months piled up, had spoken about the coalition in more than at least 2 forums, in Benue, in other places that he visited in recent times. What happened yesterday was a major moment in coalition politics in Nigeria. I further say that if you don't like the word coalition, it was a major moment in the formation of alliances in Nigerian politics since the First Republic. And perhaps this is even looking more dramatic than what we witnessed in 2014, 2015. Now, that's the context. Now, what it means is that those who want President Tinubu removed have played grand politics yesterday, showing that they are determined and they want to do it. Now, this is a major test for both the APC and President Bola Ahmed Tinubu himself. We have always said President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is a strategist. He is the political master. Chief Ogunlewe, Senator Ogunlewe, refers to him as the owner of the game, as the master of the game. This should be a wake-up call from President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. It will test the credentials that he has been putting across. That's one. Number two, how does he respond going forward is what is important. Now, in terms of response, we were told that this event yesterday was supposed to hold at the Ritz-Carlton Hotel in Abuja. But at the last minute, they were told that the Ritz-Carlton Hotel was no longer available due to internal compliance matter. Emphasis, internal compliance matter. Now, who is the owner of that Ritz-Carlton Hotel? That is part of the narrative. Who woke up the last minute? But the opposition, showing that they are determined, moved to the Yaradua Center in neutral ground and they had their event. Another thing to note is the quality of the attendance. All the big politicians from the north, with the exception of a few who may still join, you never know. But I see Tambuwal Senator on the screen. I see the vice presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Dr. Dati Ahmed, on the screen. Atiku Abubakar, the Waziri Adamawa, the interim chairman is Senator David Mark, who has been in politics for long. The interim national secretary is Rauf Aregbesola, who, was seen, irreconcilable rivals of old were seen coming together and pumping hands, and which proves the point, basically, that in politics, even when strange bedfellows come together, what is important is their permanent interest. And that permanent interest is that they want to get President Tinubu out of power. In terms of strategy, I think we should also look at the personality of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is not President Jonathan. In 2014, 2015, President Jonathan was always saying, look, if God gives you powers to the degree of 10, just use 1 or 2. Behave like a, like a person who has the fear of God. When some people went to him with proposals that he should change the INEC chairman, he said no. Let the INEC chairman do whatever he wants to do. This is not a do or die process. And we must raise standards in this country. When people went to him to say, let us rig this election, he said, look, if anybody rigs any election on my behalf, there will be trouble for that person. No, I'm just.
He didn't rig at all.
No, I'm just defining context. I was there.
Okay.
You know, so I'm not making up. And I was spokesperson.
I know. I'm just asking. Did he rig at all?
Official spokesperson for that government. Now, is President Tinubu the same person who will say, well, whatever they do, let them do it. If they do whatever they want to do, I will concede to them. That is part of the conversation. Now, PDP, what happens to PDP? I don't think that the PDP will disappear. I think that the People's Democratic Party has been weakened. Now, some 50 columnists who have taken over the party, they will remain there. They may do well at the state level, you know, they may reorganize, but part of the problem within the party is that persons at the state level, they are saying that, okay, they may still vote this way. Some of the governors supporting President Bola Ahmed Tinubu are saying when it comes to the presidential election, go with the coalition. So there's a lot of dynamics that is in this. I think it's early days yet. Big drama yesterday, but will it be sustained? Even the ADC itself is factionalized. You have Dumebu Kachiku coming forward to say that these geriatrics are coming together. You have, what's his name, Showore, saying these are the same people who have messed up Nigeria. You watch them, they will never be able to form a consensus. So there are other subtextual issues. And why I think that it is a grand political moment is that some elements in this same ADC, either from the PDP or the Social Democratic Party or from the Labour Party, are they not the same people who had gone to apply for registration of ADA, the All Democratic Alliance? But there have been concerns that, oh, maybe INEC will not register All Democratic Alliance. So they've morphed into ADC, and Ralph Okenwosu, the chairman of the party, well, I think somebody else, one Malam, who says he's the National Publicity Secretary original of the APC. So even the ADC, they are saying there is an original part, there is a fake part. So which part has this coalition morphed into? So fake and original, we don't know yet. That's why I say that the drama has just begun. But what is important is that the Tinubu administration should allow all voices to be heard, should allow opposition politics, because it is when you have opposition politics that, in a sense, you feed the pulse of the people, you deepen democracy. As Professor Jibo Ibrahim was saying yesterday in an interview with Charles Anagulu, prime time, on this same station, Arise News, he said, look, you don't get into power and then you close the doors. And that he hopes that the Tinubu administration will allow democracy to thrive and flower, and that it cannot flower by closing the doors about other people who have the legitimate rights under a democratic dispensation to express themselves, to make their choices. But at the end of the day, now I end it. It's the electorate that must make the choice. Whether it's power of incumbency or it is negotiation, whatever you negotiate, let the people's voice be heard in 2027. It's still a long time. You may still find some fifth columnists showing up in the ADC. But at least I think whether it's ADC or the All Democratic Alliance, where I try to align with you, is that the Wike mischief may have been effectively abbreviated. I use the word abbreviated advisedly.
All right. Well, after what initially seemed like some false starts, yesterday was can be noted as a definitive initial victory for the coalition. We saw some political superpowers coming together for a huge announcement, and the event can be described as one that was successful, well attended. The speeches that were given struck all of the right notes. It was not just about unseating the incumbent. There were conversations around the economy, around state capture, around insecurity as well, and proposed solutions to move forward. But what I see transpiring is what I'm calling the battle of the trifectas. What is this battle of the trifectas? Just recently we saw what some people are saying is a fait accompli by the APC, securing Lagos State, Rivers State, and Kano State. Kano being the latest development where we saw the resignation of the chairman of the APC. And this makes room for, potentially makes room for the Kwankwansia movement, who we know dominated Kano State in 2023. Lagos State, we see inroads being made there, and Rivers State as well. We know the state of Rivers State and how the president has somewhat assumed control of the affairs there. Whoever the governor is and whatever party the governor belongs to, it seems that Rivers State is set to align with the center. Why is this significant? This is significant because some might argue that in 2023, the reason that the vote was so split is because those trifectas. Now, what many people might argue is that the reason why this the 2023 election was so divided was because you had a division you had Kano State going to Kwankwansia, Lagos going to Peter Obi, and River State going to President Tinubu. If you bring these three states together, as has been done traditionally, then you do find that it makes for electoral victory. So that is on the APC side. Now, what's the other trifecta that we saw emerging yesterday? It was Atiku Abubakar, Peter Obi, and of course, in my opinion, Nasir El-Rufai, as somebody who was said to have been a key player in helping President Tinubu navigate through all of the hurdles that were mounted up against him in the run-up to the 2023 election. In this, you have two formidable forces that are going to come together and meet. Now, the coalition still has many challenges ahead of it. As much as yesterday was a lot of fanfare, we even enjoyed a new song from Senator Dino Melaye. And it was convincing. But it still stands to be seen, as critics have argued, still stands to be seen whether this coalition has the potential to attract the interest and the excitement of the grassroots. That is yet to be seen. Minister Festus Keyamo also raised an important point yesterday, where he said that, well, one cannot legally belong to multiple political parties. So we still have the issue of political tourists that are involved in this ADC. Yes, we've seen a number of people decamping. We've seen Senator David Mark decamping, send his resignation from the PDP. We've seen Rotimi Amechi resigning. Abubakar Malami has also left the ruling party. However, Atiku Abubakar, Peter Obi, Nasir El-Rufai, we're still waiting to see what their moves are, because for now they still remain political tourists. How will that play out, and how definitive will it make their role as we count down to the election? So these are some of the issues that I feel that are pertinent as we continue to work our way towards how the dynamics will play out between this coalition and the ruling party. As for the PDP, for now, it seems the PDP has been weakened. It seems that the PDP will have to do some serious re-strategizing. It may be a little bit too late to call people back in. Something new may have to be introduced. However, we'll be here and we'll be watching and we'll keep you updated.